There you go. So everything's recording. We're all live. Cool. Hey guys, it's Noah again. It's the Zone Podcast. Today I'm with Candy from ikandyland. Candy, we'll go ahead and get straight into this. Like, what's kind of your backstory? How'd you get into like actual like social media and helping people out with their socials?
So I started off younger. I had children early. So I wanted a career that I would be able to fend for myself if I were to be like a single mom. Like I really was preparing for that. So I became a nurse because I knew I could be a nurse anywhere, right? So you can work anywhere as a nurse. But I knew that I never wanted to be a nurse forever. I always wanted to have a business. So I started doing other things like side hustles, right? So I started modeling, I started acting, I started coordinating events for anti-human trafficking. I did a lot of side businesses. I started jewelry business. I started subscription boxes. Like I've done it all. And then like being doing what I was doing, I was getting a lot of popularity online, and I was getting asked to be an influencer for certain brands, or getting paid to do things, or getting paid to post about things. And so a lot of my people in my followers were like, well, how are you doing this? How are you doing that? How can I be the same? How can I do that like you? So then I was like, okay, this is what I'm really good at. I like doing it. I love doing it. I love teaching people this. Okay. I love teaching people. I love helping people do what I do because it works. Like what I do works. Like all my clients have gone viral with taking my program, and it just works because what I do is all the experience I've had in the past 10 years. Um, I cut it down into like six to 8 weeks, and you guys just get like straight to the point. Straight to the point. You don't have to wait years to go viral. Like you can go viral like this. I have clients who went viral the same day, 5 days later, a week, a
Hmm.
month, some 3 months. It just depends on how at the end of the day, it's like how much work do you put in? Like how much are you going? How bad do you want it? Is what I always say. But yeah, I have people who've gone viral within 40 minutes. Um, right instantly, as soon as they did what I told them to do, they went viral like this. So what I do works, and I love doing it, and that's how I got into social media. And so I said, oh, this is how I'm gonna get paid. This is
So,
my business right here.
yeah, that's awesome. So like with going viral and everything like that, do you think it really depends on the niche? Because you said some people it'll be like the first 48 hours, some people would be like 3 months later. Does it just depend on like the niche that they're in?
No, you can use my strategies on any niche. The amount, how fast you go viral is like how much effort you put into creating your videos. So I help people go viral using short form videos for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Videos are what's converting right now. Like that's what the thing is, and you
Mhm.
can go. It's engaging. People stop and watch, they listen and stuff like that. So and it's entertaining. So people actually watch videos versus pictures that just scroll right by. So I teach you how to post properly and how to create content properly. And if you do what I say, I mean, um, it depends on how many videos you post throughout the week, the timing, and I teach you everything. And that's how you go about it. It's just really if like you're listening to me. That's really
If
what
you
it is.
just listen.
If you just listen, because sometimes I'm like, oh Jesus, I
Yeah,
told you
yeah.
this already. Like you're still doing what I'm telling you not to do. I'm like, come on, come back here. Let's go back to doing this. And once they're like, oh, okay, I get it, and then they go viral. Like,
Okay. So you said in your backstory, like you started kind of out like being a nurse. I've noticed that a lot of people that go into the medical field, like through that discipline that they like bring in the medical field of like, because you have to be like on it.
right.
They bring the same thing over to entrepreneurship. Would you agree with that, or is it kind of like it's a very different thing? Like, would you bring that
I mean,
discipline?
really, to be honest, like I always say, like not everyone should be a nurse. Like not everyone should be certain career choice. People pick choices based on money, like how much I'm going to make. I'll just go. Everyone's going to be a nurse. Like go be a nurse because everyone's a nurse, and like
Okay.
But some people are not meant to be nurses, right? Because you gotta be kind, you gotta be patient. I've met some nurses that are like, whoa, like why do you even become a nurse for? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that means if they were a nurse, they could apply their skills or discipline into entrepreneurship. I think people have to have that spirit to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur, right?
Mhm.
And that's just how it is. Like not everyone could be a salesperson. Not everyone could be a doctor. Not everyone has um their heights, you know, their good traits that can be certain things, but entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Yeah. I've had some people who have told me like there's almost like an entrepreneurship gene. Like most of the time,
Yeah.
you can find somebody in your family that has done it as well.
Yeah.
Do you kind of believe in that, or do you think it's more of a taught thing? Because you said not everyone can do it.
I feel like you're born to do it.
Oh,
I feel like you're just born to. I really do think that that's what you're supposed to do. Because like there were times where I said I'm gonna give up, right? I've been doing this for so long. It was hard. I had kids. I didn't have any support. I was like, man, you know, and everyone was like, yeah, you should give up because you know you're a mom. You should stay home. And, da, 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 da. And I was like, dang, maybe this is not meant for me, right? So I actually sat down and said, I'm just gonna give up today. I literally said that to myself, just like forget it. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm not gonna keep trying. So I laid down, went to sleep, and everything in my brain was just talking about showing me these houses like I could live in and how much money I could make. It was just like these visions in my brain, and it was nonstop for 3 days. I tried for 3 days to quit. And I couldn't do it. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. So what happened was I ended up not telling people what I was doing because every time I told people, they were like, "Oh, again? You're doing that again?" Is like because I kept failing in everybody's eyes. I wasn't succeeding or I wasn't going through where I wanted to be. So what I did was I just stopped telling people altogether. Like, forget it. I'm not telling anybody. If I fail, I fail, but no one else knows. But no one's putting me down. No one's making me feel like I shouldn't do it. So once I did that, man, I just went straight. It was like this. It was so fast that I like excelled in where I wanted to go.
hmm.
And yeah, so I feel like it's just you were born to be an entrepreneur because inside your brain you cannot stop thinking about it. You
Yeah.
can't stop no matter what you want to like no matter what you can't stop. So certain people have that and some certain people don't. They're cool working 9 to 5 and that's great because we need 9 to 5ers too. So I do know my family on my mom's side, they were entrepreneurs. They had their own business in Cambodia. They were tradespeople. They traded across the border. So I maybe it's a genetic thing. My mom is really good with money and she does understand that part of it. So maybe it did come down through my bloodline.
Mhm.
Since you brought that up, my mom's family is they were merchants in Cambodia, so maybe.
Okay. So kind of like that entrepreneurship gene.
Yeah.
And I've noticed like a lot of things that I've been seeing lately is like those people holding you back really are the ways that, and you said you just skyrocketed afterwards.
Oh yeah.
I think you have a very interesting outlook, like a very unique outlook, because you're a woman in entrepreneurship, and I'm curious as to like because most girls will be like like you said other women when you're in your ears like you gotta quit, you gotta stop, and even some
Yeah.
of my friends like their girlfriends will be like, hey, we can't deal with this, we gotta you gotta provide for me, and you're not providing for me right now, so
Right.
I want to dive deeper into that. Like, what do you like? Do you think that like how does I don't know how did where did that foster like where did that foster for you to be like nah I'm because you even told me before we got on here you're like door to door, and that's super rare for any woman to do, which is
Right.
makes you a rare breed.
Right.
Like
Right.
I don't know where did that foster, like is it
Uh,
yeah.
so my parents are refugees. They came from Cambodia. They survived a genocide, right? So they came here, nothing on their back. Um, don't speak English. Well, I'm the only one that speaks English in the family. So I had a lot of responsibilities at a very young age that most children don't have. I was interpreting, translating at 8. I'm on the phone.
Mm.
I promise you, I was on the phone with, at the time was Bell Atlantic, calling for my mom, saying, "Why is the bill so high?" At 8. At 8, I promise you, I was. They're like, "Where's your mom?" I said, "She doesn't speak English, so she just wants to know why her bill is so high." At 8 years old, I've been doing that. I've been writing money orders at 8. I walked to the store to CVS. At the time, I think it was People's. Now it's CVS. An hour from the house. 8 years old, picking up my mom's medication. So at a very young age, I think that's where that fostered from is I've always taught survival.
Mhm.
Um, our parents had to survive, and then they, as the community, they kind of left the children home early, really, really young, like really, really young, so they can go work, right? And so people in my generation that are Asian, Southeast Asian, that came here, first generations, have a survival instinct. So we do what it takes to get what we need. And that's really where that happened. Like, I got to do what it takes because I don't want to be homeless. I need money. I'm going to do what it takes to get it done. Like, that's where that kind of came from. So when you speak of other younger women or women that feels like that, it's only because they've never had that experience where they had to survive.
Mhm.
So if you're always taken care of, then you're always going to want to be taken care of, young or old, it doesn't matter. But if you never had that, I need to survive, I need to take care of somebody. So I had kids young. I
Mhm.
had my oldest daughter when I was 20. And again, my survival instinct just kicked in. I got to do what it takes to take care of this baby. I got to
Mhm.
do what it takes. So that was really where that comes in. And it's like, I got to make sure I survive, my kids survive, and they're taken care of. So that is why where that I can't give up. I can't give up. If I give up, miss, they're my kids.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen to my kids, right? So I can't. I can't give up. No matter what I do, I cannot give up. So that's why I went to nursing right away because I know I needed a foundation. I need something to fall back on. If anything else doesn't go through, at least I have nursing, right?
Mhm.
So that was for me. I built a foundation for myself, and then I'm just gonna keep trying, and I'm never gonna give up until I get there. And that's I feel like that is because of my upbringing, because I had to survive at a very young age. So these survival instincts kind of pop in earlier than it should, or maybe it shouldn't. But that's where that comes from with me.
So even like that brings me to a different question. I'm very curious about. So my, I'll share a little bit about my mom is an entrepreneur as well, and she was basically a single mom and kind of had a similar story. And she was like, yeah, I need to do this. So my question is like, how do you keep that like drive even after your brain is looking at like, oh wow, I'm in my own house now. I got clients
Yeah.
coming through on social media, like I'm all good. Like when we talked to you, were like, yeah, I got the pool in the back, like I'm all good. Like how do you keep that drive keep going? Like how do you keep that going?
The bills.
You said
Gotta pay
what?
bills.
Oh
Bills.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Um, I think honestly, I'm always a very driven person.
Mhm.
Um, I've kind of what I do is my husband thinks it's really funny. He says, you get this really strong like whoosh of like getting things done, and then you kind of take a break. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs do this. I don't really realize I'm the only one that does this, but we really work really hard, and then we get to okay, I can take a break now. And then we're like, okay, let's go back right back that dive right back into it. And it's like people who are driven and ambitious, we can't stop. We can't stop. There's always something else. Like I'm always gonna do social media, but at the end of the day, I'm sure there's gonna be something else in the future that I'm probably gonna dive into and excel at. But right now, this is where I'm really good at and really comfortable at. I'm doing really well at. So this is where I'm gonna be until that opportunity arises. I hope to like my goal right now is I hope to be on stages. I like to speak. I want to speak to people, inspire people to not give up despite where you come from, who you are. I have a story that I can share, which I love that you asked me about or that survival instinct. I've never told that to anybody. So it's really cool. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
Because I got to share that with everyone out there. So that's kind of like where my goal is at. I think I eventually would like to be able to speak on stages. So until I get there, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. So like with that, I've thought about the same thing. Like with have you ever heard of like Toastmasters?
Yes. So I haven't gone to. I have a speaking coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of giving me like pointers.
Mm-hmm.
The Toastmaster thing is kind of like a little nervous for me, even though I like talking to people. It's just because like a lot of them have a lot of experience, so I'm kind of like,
Mhm.
I'm so brand new at this. I'm gonna look crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't done Toastmasters yet, but everyone says like that is helpful. I think it's free, so I don't know.
So earlier you were talking about work, 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 and then break.
Yeah,
Um, so is that kind of like a work till you burn out, or because I've noticed like a recent thing that I've kind of adopted is purposeful play. So like not doing things that you're either working or you're doing things that fulfill you to the point where
right.
like recharging. So like do you like burn yourself out, or do you try to like kind of implement some of those things of like purposeful play?
Yeah, so I don't burn myself out. So when I take a break, it's just because okay, I did it. I made my goal for the month, and I'm just gonna sit
Okay.
back, relax, swim in the pool, do things with the kids.
Yeah.
And actually, the way I set up my daily routine,
Mhm.
I'm not always working. I can work anytime throughout the day. So 9 to 5ers, we have to work 9 to 5, right? That's your
Mhm.
time slot, and then whatever you gotta do. I kind of disperse my time. Sometimes I'll do like Zooms and I'll do some quotes here for life insurance and I'll take a break, do lunch, take the kids out to the park, come back, maybe do another quotes here and there. If I feel like it, I could do it till midnight if I wanted to. So like I love the freedom that I get. Like I can do whatever I want
Mhm.
um throughout the day and not feel burnt out. And so when I hit my goal for the month, I just like, all right, I'm good to go. And I'm just relaxing. I'm not doing any work. I'm not whatever. I'm just posting on social media. Social media is not work to me. So
Yeah.
that's really, and it's good. It's a good life. It really is.
Yeah. I've been dealing with this lately, and I want to ask you a question about it because it's kind of related to like the work. Um, I was like I just recently got out of door knocking, and that's just like hard, boom, boom. Like
Oh,
ever
yeah.
since I was little, I was doing hard work, and like not only that, but like physical labor as well. And as like first when I was in physical labor, and then I went into like sales, then I was like, oh, I'm not really working that hard, am I? And then when I got out of that, like then I got into like um what I'm doing now is software, and I'm literally just doing like I'm all virtual. I just stay
Yeah.
home. And I'm like, man, I'm not working. Like, do I need like is there something that I need to do to work harder? Because I know
Oh,
you were talking about the social media. It's just fun for you, and like this is fun for me. And then like even texting people, DMing people, it's fun for me. So I just
yeah.
feel like I'm not working. So do you deal with the same sort of thing, or are you like,
No, because I've worked.
yeah, that's
Because
true. That's
I've
true.
worked, I've done it all.
Yeah.
I've really worked. I've had 2, 3 jobs.
Yeah.
At one point, I really worked, so I'm really tired. I don't want to do that. So this doesn't seem like work. I feel like this is what it's supposed to be like. This is what your goal is like. I think people's mindset has been brainwashed because the what
Yeah.
we were taught.
Mhm.
And so we think if you're not physically out there in the world, manually doing stuff or giving all your time away to another company, then you're not working. So, and I think once you get
How'd you
into like
break that mindset? Yeah.
um when you start getting paid, like literally when you start getting paid for your to do the skills that you're really good at, and then you're like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. I don't have to be out there like what happened was when I was pregnant with my last child, I was nursing. It was my last year as a nurse, but at the same time, I was doing social media still. I was grinding to make sure when I had her, I was never going back to work, right? So I want to make sure that as soon as I finish and I had her, I can, my business is still going, right?
Mhm.
Um, when I did that, that was really tough because I didn't like it. I didn't like being a nurse because of my supervisors. They were very abusive. Like, they talk to you any kind of way. They treat you really bad, um, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that environment. So to me, all my time was giving 8 hours to these people who treat me so bad, right? But then I'm running around trying in between breaks and stuff, trying to take care of my clients. And I come home, I'm doing everything I need to do for my clients, go to bed, and do it all over again. So I'm like, dang, if I took that 8 hours and spent it on my business, I would be making more money than being a nurse, right? So that's
Yeah,
where my mindset changed. I was like, I'm giving all of my time and energy to people who don't even appreciate me, and I don't even make that much, right? Because there's a cap as a nurse. You're not making that much. You're not gonna raise everything. I promise you're not gonna get like anything. So I was like, no, I could put that time and energy into my business and be happy. No one's like in my ear and scolding you. God, I was getting scolded. I was like, I'm getting treated like a kid. I was like, I don't. This is how. Is this what it's supposed to be like? And I was like, I was so miserable at work. So I said, no, I'm gonna take that time, put it into my business, and enjoy my life. And then I realized once I started time management, time management. So some people are very bad at time management, but there's
yeah.
there.
It just,
We
I just,
disappeared real quick.
yeah. It went out for a little bit. You were talking about time management.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm able to complete my tasks throughout the day and feel like I did work. I worked. I did whatever I gotta do. I'll set goals for myself. I'll say I'll complete this amount of quotes today. Um, um, or I'll post do an hour or two. So today I'll probably do some videos after our session today. So I'll probably do some videos for an hour and then I'm good. I'm done. It's like I mean, like it's that's and I'm cool with it. That's how life should be. You should enjoy, and you probably hear this from a lot of older people who are successful,
Hmm.
and where they say like your job, you made it when you like your job doesn't feel like a job. It feels like it's fun, right? It's just that's really what a job's supposed to be like. But we're taught like, oh, you have to physically do stuff or leave the house to work, and it's not like that.
Yeah, it's even like this. It is kind of like an abusive mindset because it's like, hey, I want this pain. I even got to the point where I was like, I need this pain of like being in the grind, and it's like, nah. I mean, you're a living example of it. Like literally, no. Like you can do high leverage activities and get a good return on that. That kind of brings me into how do you like utilize tech in your business? I know it's on social media, so it's kind of techy, but like what on like the back end, like automations or anything like that?
So I don't have any automations. It's funny because everyone thinks I do, or funnels. I just have my website.
Hmm.
Everything I do is manual. I haven't made it to the point where I need a team yet, to do that part of my life. I have teams for social media management, for not for clients, but when it comes to me personally, like everything is through Messenger. Like I make everyone's life harder, easier. So the thing is, um, what people think is they need systems and automations and things like that to work. And this is for people who are just starting out. Okay, this is I'm talking about people who are now when you're already made it, you need that. Yes, you do. But there are people who are just starting out and they're buying all these different, they're subscribing to all these different platforms, websites, and they think this is what they needed, and you don't. What you do is you make people's life easier. People do not want to leave the app. So if you're talking or they seeing your video on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're wanting to talk to you in their messenger. They don't. So if you respond back and say, hey, go book over here at this website, they're not gonna do it. I promise you, they're not gonna do it. They want to talk to you. They don't want to leave the app. So that's why I'm so successful with what I do, because I make it very convenient for my clients, and that is how you win.
Mhm.
Like, you have to be convenient for your clients, because or else they're not going to do it. That's why I see why people will do door to door, and why it works for some people, or why it works for the company, why the company pushes door to door, because you're
Mhm.
making it convenient for your client, even if they don't want it, but you're going to bump into people who do need it. But you made
Mhm.
it convenient. You're at their house, and you got it done like this. Like when I got my Vivid in, the they're like, yeah, once we're done with this, we're gonna have a good time when the next tech could come in. So I'm thinking, oh, next week the tech's gonna come in, put in cameras. Dude, they came in like 10 minutes later. I was like, oh wow, this is
Mhm.
very convenient, right? So
Yeah.
that's how, once you make your client's life easier, like, they'll love it, and you get your sale. That's really what it is about when it comes to sales or anything. Because most people who do start entrepreneurship, it's sales. We need leads, we need customers, we need clients. But you think we need all these things to make it work, and it's like you don't. And we test. Trust me, I've tested everything. And what I really needed was a Calendly, a place where people can book a time with me, in a website, and that was it. That's all I needed. And that's all I use. And an
Yeah.
email, right? Google
Yeah.
integrates it with everything, so that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. You've met a lot of entrepreneurs and seen like how they've gone through. Like most of your clients are entrepreneurs, right?
Yes,
Okay, awesome.
yes.
So you've seen a lot of them. What why do some fail? What have you noticed that some fail, and then why do some succeed? That you've noticed that because you've been in contact with these people. Like, what
Oh
has been
yeah.
some of the things that you've seen that the reasons why they fail and the reasons why they succeed?
They expect success within a certain time frame. It doesn't matter. Every entrepreneur does this. I
Mhm.
need to make this amount of money by this amount of time, or I need to do this. I need to see this amount of followers within, and it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. So why would your business work like that, right? So it's like they give up too soon. And so you see it with me and my followers. I've done this for a straight 2.5 years, and I grew my following. 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So why would you think you're gonna be like in like today, tomorrow, right? You hire marketers and you expect marketers to get you going when you have no growth, no audience, no engagement, no anything. Nobody knows who you are, but you want to be this famous person next month. Like, what? It doesn't work like that. So what happens is they get like, oh my God, this is not for me. This is not for me. But I've been in this entrepreneur journey for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So what happens, what I see with entrepreneurs is they just give up. They give
Mhm.
up way too easily, and complain about it, right? So like I tell people, I preach to my clients, do videos every single day. Post a video every single day. Post a video every single day. Don't Some don't do it, and then they don't get the success uh that I get, right? I mean, I've got clients that called me up yesterday, and because one of my older videos went viral. It was a month and a half ago, and went viral yesterday or 2 days ago,
Mhm.
at almost 5 million views right now. And so they're like, wow, I need to get back into making videos. I was like, yeah, I mean, you should never give up, right? Because you think that if I see 200 views today, 200 views today, 200 views the next day, 200 views, it's like, oh man, it doesn't work. It's not for me. And it's no, you just gave up too early. It could have been the next day. It could have been the day that you stopped making a video that you could have went viral, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's just really how it is. And people just stop doing stuff because they're not meeting, or they're not expecting, and they're not seeing the results that they're looking for. And
Yeah.
that just doesn't work when it comes to owning a business.
Yeah, even for me, like when you go into that, like the people, like I was about to ask you, like when is if they ask you the question of, oh, well, I should be in this for 6 months, and how long until I do this, and then when should I quit? And in my mind, I'm thinking never. Like why?
Never.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's not even a thing that crosses my mind. Like when I'm thinking about when other people should like would say that like I can just imagine you probably get that all the time, right? Where people are like,
I
"Oh,
mean,
if
did
I do
Gary
this,"
Vee quit?
yeah,
Like, Gary Vee's
yeah,
still here. Gary Vee's still talking to people, and he's still saying the same things. Did he quit? Like, everyone knows who Gary Vee is. Did
yeah,
he quit? Like, no. Like, that's your goal. You want to get to, especially once you get to the point where everyone kind of knows you. You're not gonna stop.
Yeah.
And then everyone's gonna forget about you. People forget people all the time. You have to like stay on top of the game because so they don't forget you.
Mhm.
That's your goal. Yes, okay, you got your results, but okay, I went viral. I'm just gonna take a break. No, don't take a break. Like you went viral, keep going. Like so they
The
can see you more.
train.
Like I get so many messages in my inbox almost every single day. Man, I see you everywhere. You're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook, I see you everywhere. I see all your videos. I was like, yeah, because that's the goal. My goal is I want you to see me everywhere so you don't forget me. So in case you need life insurance or you need someone to do your social media, you're going to remember me. That's the goal. And it's free it's like literally free. Social media is free.
Yeah.
Um, it's just the way you're using it as an entrepreneur is completely different how you would use it for personal purposes. And I think, well, I know that a lot of business owners, they're like, okay, I got a business, like I'm an LLC, whatever it is, and I'm going to open these Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I'm going to start posting. And they start posting random stuff. They just start posting everything. And it doesn't work like that. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are three different platforms. There you
Yeah.
got to post them all different ways, and there's a way you can do things, and that's why a lot of people are like, I'm just gonna figure it out because it's just social media, it's free. But all of your customers and clients are on social media. You should learn how to use social media because you can. I get leads every single day. I get leads every single day, and if I go viral, I can go from 50 to 3,000 leads in one day. When I first went viral on life insurance, my very first video went viral, 1.3 million on TikTok. I had 3,000 leads. I literally worked all day, 24 hours for a whole month just to get through everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an amazing problem to
Mhm.
have. Like most people can't pay for that. You can't even pay Facebook ads to do that for you. Like, and if you did, you don't have the kind of funds to pay Facebook ads to get you that many leads. Like that's you get it. I've gotten that for free. I went viral 2 days ago on an older video, which I mentioned, and I got over 100 leads. 100 leads. I'm good. I was busy yesterday. Busy yesterday, and after our thing today, I gotta go through all my quotes today too.
That's
Free. Don't have to pay for it because a lot of life insurance agents they buy leads. They they use up your family friends thing. They do the door to door thing, and I never had to do face. I never had to run ads. Never went door to door. I never asked a family member if they needed it.
dang, it's just that abundance. Like you get that straight abundance mindset. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a like I've been reading Naval Ravikant's almanac, and he talks about the couple ways of leverage, and it's labor at the bottom, capital, and then at the top of the pyramid is media and code. Because once you create one piece of content,
Right.
that is infinitely leverageable, and you just said there's no way with labor you could get 3,000 leads. You would have to
Yeah.
have
No way.
multiple people calling, and all you had to do is post one thing.
One thing, 3,000 leads off of one video.
Oh
One
my
video. Yeah.
man! So what? I had written down what are your thoughts on social media, but we are just gonna skip straight past that because we already got all of it. So I have one question for you because a lot of people that I talk to everyone has interesting customer interactions. So what's been like most memorable customer interaction?
Oh man, because I have so much. I can't even really name. Like, give me an example. Like, what's yours?
Okay. I mean, when I was knocking, I know knocking door to door is you got a lot of stories in that, but like I was
Oh
knocking.
yeah. Because I could do nurse stories all day long, but it's like, what do you
Yeah. Well,
give me an
I feel
example
like
here?
do you think with social media, like it's since you're getting all these warm leads, you probably get like no people who are like because they're asking for you, so you probably get
Yeah.
no people that are your most memorable interaction. I feel like would be more of a sweet interaction or something that maybe they went through it and then they were like, oh, this is not what it was or something like that, maybe they would get angry off of that. But like I feel like for the most part, yours would be like they're already attracted to you. Me, I'm knocking at people's doors and they're like, my story was literally like I'd left a hanger on this dude's door. It said no soliciting, but I was like, I've been trained that okay, it says no soliciting, don't knock the door, but just leave the flyer. So I leave the flyer,
Right.
I go walk away. I literally hear like, hey, I'm over here, and I'm like, who's talking to me? I'm literally listening to someone in my ear, like I'm just like chilling. I'm going to the next house, and
Yeah.
then he's like, come here, I want to talk to you about this. And I'm like, oh, this guy's interested. All right, cool, cool, cool. I walk over, and he's just like, yeah, you see that? You see that sign over there? You see that sign over there, boy? And I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Oh no.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh.
He's like, can you fucking read? Like, what's going on? And then I'm like, he's
Oh
like,
wow.
if you don't move, I'm gonna shoot you. And I'm like, whoa, whoa. He just like grabs the back of his belt, and
But
he's
he's
like,
the one that told you to come back. Like, wow.
exactly.
That's
And then he
scary.
points to his yard, and he's like, does it look like I need your damn service? And then he's like this, and I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Just keep the card. It's all good. And then I just like walk away. But yeah, that was probably my most memorable customer interaction. But
Do you know, like, when people are like that, I've noticed that when people are like that, they really, and it's just this is just a life thing, okay?
mhm,
You really miss out on life and opportunities. It's the same thing. If
mhm,
I didn't answer, or if my husband didn't answer the door for Vivid, we may not have gotten the great deal that we did, or we would have spent more money if we did, or we've never made networking. Maybe he now I'm able to, hey, look, guess what? I do life insurance. So if you know anyone, like you know what I'm saying, like I was able to do that with that person, and you never know. When you share stuff about yourself, like there is relatability that you have this person, and you could open doors for other people, or vice versa. So I think people are so like, oh, I don't want nobody at my house, but you close doors to so many opportunities. And this is like where I say, I don't know if you're religious or not. I'm not religious, but I do believe in God. So this is where like God said, let's put Noah in front of this house, and that instead of knocking on that door, you could have given him an opportunity, whether he's bought anything from you or not, but you could have established a relationship or learned something new from each other. So, like, that to me is like people are just, you shouldn't do that. You should always greet people,
mhm,
give the people the respect, but you never know who you meet. Like, I've talked to, people, how many people have come to my house since I've moved here. I've had Closets by Design come here. I had Pest Control come here, Vivid come here. And the conversations we have are like, oh, wow, da, da, da. And because I'm new, I'm asking questions like, well, where do I get where do I get this done? Or where do I get done that? I need this, I need that. And they're sharing because I'm so open and nice.
mhm,
And there are so many opportunities, like one of the girls, the closet girl,
mhm,
her husband wraps cars, and we were looking for someone that wraps cars. Like, so I was like, oh, okay. So even if I didn't get a closet from you today, like we found someone that can wrap cars.
mhm.
So to me, that kind of sucks that people treat you like that, or they stop people at doors, because you miss so many opportunities. Whether opportunities can be very small or very big. You never know who you meet. Like, you never know who you knock on the door on, and they might. I'm hoping people listen to this is like, give people the chance to talk to you. Like, as long as you're like, you don't have to buy anything. You're not putting a gun to their head to buy anything. You're not gonna. No, you're doing your job. You're supposed to sell stuff, right? We know that. Everyone that opens the door knows that you're okay. You're about to sell me something. But sometimes I like to get into conversations. I'm like, yeah, we're not from here. And they're like, oh, yeah, where are you from? I'm not from here either. Like our pest control guy, he was not from Texas either. So it's like we got into conversations, and we learned a lot about not each other, but about the community where we're at, and people. You learn different things about different people. Um, you can get, there's so much you can do. As far as like, I have so many clients, and I can't really pinpoint one customer interaction or anything like that. But um, I would say, since I shared this with you earlier, but probably the only one I could say, which is kind of funny that I still remember to this day, is when
Yeah.
I started door knocking. Right when I started canvassing for ADT when I was 19 years old, and that was an experience. But I guess I was always good at sales. I was always good at like talking to people.
Mhm.
But this day, I came to a house with a glass door, a glass storm door, where you can see into the house, and you see all everybody sitting on the couch. And then I'm ringing the doorbell. I'm staring at the door, and the little boy was like, "Mom, there's a Chinese girl at the door." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like, so I was like, "Oh my God, like, what do I do?" So I just stood there like, okay, somebody coming to the door. And they just literally stared at me. Nobody moved. They just stared at me. And I was like, okay, I gotta go. So that was like the whole interaction was like 5 to 10 minutes because I really just stood there like, hey, I see you. Are you gonna come open the door? So I was like, I said, screw it, I'm not dealing with this today. So I left. But that's as far as like my most memorable interaction when it comes to canvassing. But right now, I can't pinpoint anything as social media. Everyone that's on social media, my social media clients they understand that they need social media. So my clients are very easy. The same way as with life insurance, because I provide so much information online about life insurance, where my clients come to me, they align with my personality because I show off my personality on social media.
Mhm.
My life is really easy. Like my clients are really easy. I've never had a problem. I've had all my clients on, I'm not hundreds of clients on life insurance and hundreds of clients on social media, and I've never had a problem with any of them because when you're on social media and you present yourself and you show if you are who you are, you hear this all the time. Be authentic. When people don't understand what authentic means, is be yourself no matter what. Don't be like anyone else. Be yourself. Don't act like nobody else just because someone else is in the same niche as you. Don't be like them. Be you. When you be you, if you meet me in person, this is how I talk. Okay. If I'm
Yeah.
on social media, this is how I am. So there is no fakeness. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is people align with your personality and people like who they like. People follow who they follow. People follow who they like.
Mhm.
So in that case, most of my clients are always gonna like me because they see me on social media. So they're ready to like get life insurance or social media services from me because they kind of align with my personality. They already like me. So as far as clientele goes, they're all really great. I have really great clients. I love them all. They're appreciative. They treat me good. I get random messages from random people all the time. Um, they're very nice and uplifting. I really don't have. I get negative comments because once you go viral, whew, I'm talking about like there's some weird people in this world. Like I really like. Oh my god, I think it's so funny because I think you brought up the let's jump right back real quick because I want to mention this,
Yeah.
where you're talking about like your friends' girlfriends and they're talking about this their mindset, right? It's really funny when you're an independent woman, and it's all about perspective. Some people there are men who comment on you and like, oh, I bet she's not even married. Like you could just walk. I could have a walking video. I'm fully clothed, and people are like, oh, I bet she's a hoe. She's not married. She's for the streets. I'm like, dude, like how? Where'd you see that? All I did was walk across. Like literally, I just what? I'm wearing jeans and a seat. I'm like, where'd you get that from? But if I share a post that I credit myself and my husband that we did something together. Oh, she can't do this by herself. She married a rich man. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with people? I was like, you can't win for losing. There's no win-win with women sometimes. Sometimes like you do things by yourself, you're too independent. You can't, you need a man, da, da, da. Or you do something with your man, oh, you need him, you can't do it without him. That's what it's like it sucks. It really does suck. I wanted to share that because usually what most of my negative comments come from. But for the most part, when it comes to my social media, 90% positive and
Mhm.
maybe the 10% negative comments. But for the most part, everyone is positive. But you need thick skin for that. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
I learned a lot of lessons because I'm a very like person. So like I will come back at people in the beginning when I started social media because I was like, damn, like who are you? Like who are you to? You don't even know me. You don't know my life or anything like that. And when I started life insurance is it's the same as sales, a solar, anything that you do door to door, right?
Mhm.
But life insurance is almost like this weird community of life insurance agents, right? And it's like they pick sides and like it's really weird. Like it was to the point where I'm like, God, I really don't like selling life insurance anymore. This is really weird. So the people that attack me with life insurance are not clients, it's actually other life insurance agents because their views on life insurance are different than mine. So when I went viral for life insurance, I had a slew of life insurance agents that find me on other platforms and just harass me. They would bully me, they would call me names, they were being racist. I had people, yeah, they were being racist, all kinds of things, and it was just other life insurance agents, and so like me going back and forth with them, they ended up reporting me, and then I ended up being shadow banned on Facebook because I was getting reported so much. I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna. I'm not doing this anymore. So when I went viral on Instagram, I decided not to interact with anything that's negative on there. I'll just let people go ham on there, and I'll respond to positive comments and just leave or delete the negative comments. Other than that, like I've learned to like I'm not trying to lose my virility. I need to stay viral. So I've been going viral almost every single day on Instagram. I was like, I'm not messing with that. I'm not talking to you. I'm not trying to get reported because that's the part of what comes with being on social media and being popular or going viral. People you have to have some thick skin for that.
Seems like life insurance. Even when I posted some of the videos with another insurance agent, everybody has an opinion about life insurance for
Oh,
some reason.
I know.
They all
It's
have
so
an opinion.
annoying. It's so annoying because I'm like, bruh, if you just spent that same energy going after me on trying to get yourself some clients, you would have some money right now. Right? Like you would make as much as money as I would be. But no, you're too busy telling me about life insurance. I already know about life insurance. That's just like what you sell. Like, because there's so many products with life insurance. This is what you sell. So don't sell me. I'm another agent. Go go post some
I'm not buying from
videos.
you.
I'm not buying from you. Why are you trying to persuade me for? We're on. Go get yourself some clients. I tell them all the time, like, the amount of time that you put into my writing this whole paragraph on my videos,
Always a
you could have
paragraph.
made your own video, or just go get yourself some clients.
I
Here
swear it's
comes the water.
always a paragraph. I've had two paragraphs on my life insurance, like when I interviewed a guy, like with the UIL and everything like that. But
Sorry, she's awake now. I tried. I think we did such
got
a
a
good
little
job
too
with this
passionate
podcast. I
about those
really
life
loved it.
insurance comments. We got a little too passionate about those life insurance comments, so
I know because people are just they're passionate about it. Like Jesus, if I could just share some, I had to delete them because like I'm with the whole I need to delete all the stuff off my phone because I don't want the energy, you know, to come back to me. So I haven't had any comments from other life insurance agents anymore like I used to. But when I first went viral, it was just like I think they're used to it now because other people are jumping on the bandwagon and doing the videos too. So so I don't have any as much as I used to, but there definitely weren't from other people. There were other agents, which was weird. I was like, this is weird. Do other doctors do this to each other? Like, I'm just wondering, like, do other industries do this to each other? Like, why? This is crazy. Yeah, life insurance industry is a little bit weird. So I just kind of stay in my lane. I do what I want. I do what I do, and that's all. That's it.
yeah, I mean, and I haven't had any of that experience with any of the industries I've been in. Like most of the time, it's like
Yeah.
they bash it like on a video, but like when it comes to because like even when I door to door, everybody just wants to recruit you. Basically,
Right.
they're just like, oh, that guy right there, because that's hard to find. I mean, it's
Right.
hard for young people that are wanting to actually do something. So it's in such a demand. So like everybody's just trying to recruit. So speaking of
I
like,
mean, there is good money in it.
yeah, there is, there is good money in it, and it's one of those things where like it's literally like pick your heart. Like, do you want to? And both of the hearts are actually not bad.
Right.
It's either pick your heart of going to school or pick your heart of putting like your sweat and everything like that into talking to
Right.
people and building a skill that way. Because they're
Right.
like what everybody else is going to tell you is, and the school really does like train you. I know a lot of people will talk about that. It's kind of getting old of like, oh, the school's training me 9 to 5 and stuff like that. But it really is because it's just like you get into it, and like even when I first started, I had a school mentality of like, oh, I need to be good at this, I need to close this person, I need to do this, and I need to go through this whole framework. But you can't framework a
Yeah.
conversation. It's
Yeah.
not framework, but a step by step. You have to master
Right.
the framework of the picture, and then you fill in with
Right.
your painting. But kind of when I was talking about recruiting and everything like that, have you needed to do any sort of networking? Because I know a lot of business owners will use networking to increase their business. You're getting 3,000 leads off the post, so I don't know if you really need it, but like,
I
yeah,
like networking because I meet a lot of people, so I can refer people to. So networking works like that, and I also get leads from that as well. Um, so yeah, I like networking. I haven't done too much networking. Oh, there she goes. Um, since I've moved here, I'd like to go to some networking events. I'm sure I'll probably get a whole bunch of clients. Because social media is a need. It's what it is right now. It is what it is. It's not, you no longer have to. No one watches TVs. You don't really need commercials anymore. Like or billboards. Billboards are really overrated. They cost a lot of money. And magazines, newspapers, nobody reads those anymore. So yeah, social media is the way to go. It's a need. It's a need, just like life insurance. So I picked picked two industries that are a need. You need social media and you need life insurance because we're all gonna die.
yeah.
So I that's probably why I'm doing really well because I picked industries that people need.
I mean, even like the need for insurance is just like, hey, you obviously need to put away stuff. I mean, even the U is it the UIL or the IUL? Because I'm getting this
IUL, IUL.
IUL.
So there's UL. UL is Universal Life, and then
Okay.
Index Universal Life. Index Universal Life just is based on the stock market, the
Okay.
interest rate.
Mhm.
That's the difference. But um, no one really sells UL products. It's usually IULs. It's either term life, whole life, or IULs, final expense. It's not really. It's there, but it's basically IULs. It's basically the same thing.
So last insurance agent that I had on, he was saying that the IUL is actually better than the Roth IRA. Do you believe that there's because he was like, yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
So I want people to understand there's multiple ways to invest and make money. There's multiple ways to make money. Period. And I know people get really stuck on because they favor things like, oh, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. And it's not like that's why people diversify their portfolio. I will just know that anything that's life insurance is not an investment product. You're not invest. It's not. It's there to pass on money when you pass away. That's what life insurance is. IULs, what he says is better than the Roth IRA is because it's tax free,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and it doesn't. You don't lose money. That is why. Okay. But the Roth IRA and the life insurance is two different products. Roth IRA is for retirement purposes. Okay. You're strictly using it for retirement. It is with the stock. It is losing money, but right now, but it does go back up. So like you can still have an IRA and have an IUL. There's no like one or the other. You can have both. And I
Mm-hmm.
think people get stuck in like there's only one. This is better. That better. That no, you diversify your portfolio because one of them is going to do better than the other. Now, IUL's interest rates. So for you to make the money in IULs, you have to start sooner,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and you have to put in more. You got to contribute in more to have the money that you may or may not have in your Roth IRA. Okay, so when he says, "Oh, IULs are better than Roth IRAs," it's one because you don't lose any money. But if you have the money to contribute, yeah, you can grow a lot faster and more than a Roth IRA because you're not losing any money.
Okay.
So it just depends. It's just how you use it. There's really, I tell people you have an IRA, get an IUL or get an annuity because you
Mhm.
don't lose any money. But you can have all those in your portfolio.
Okay. So it's more about having multiple streams or figuring out what the right thing is for them. So like even
Right. It's like right, right. Because exactly. So like the IUL is life insurance, so you know that if you pass away, that money is going to your family. You know that's what it's used. That's what it's supposed to do. Um,
Mhm.
with Roth IRAs, of course, when you die, like your family gets it, but there you have beneficiaries and just things like that. But with IULs, you can use it while you're alive. So when he says like there's penalties with Roth IRA, if you withdraw early, there's penalties. There's no penalties withdrawing with IULs. So it's just what is your need in your future? Like what do you need really? So it's really just balance it out. Like what do you need? Are you using it to do something with it? Then and you have the money to put into the life insurance where it can grow faster. Yeah, IULs are great for that. It is better than IRAs in that aspect if that's what you're needing it for. You were saying if you're needing the IRA just for retirement, then leave it for retirement, right? So because it's penalties, pulling money out, pulling money out, pulling money out.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, because with the IUL, you don't get penalized as much because you're just he was saying that
No,
you
you
keep.
just you have fees, withdrawal fees. Some companies only
Oh,
just
okay,
take
okay, okay.
$25 to
You said it
withdraw.
keeps getting, yeah, it keeps growing.
It's compound interest means it still grows even when you withdraw.
Yeah,
Um,
but there's still like a fee or something.
when you
Is it-
withdraw, it's just like $25 to withdraw. That's it. But it's tax free.
Oh,
There's no taxes. So when you're withdrawing from IRAs, they take taxes from your whatever you withdraw as well.
okay,
That's why.
that makes sense. So
So it's really
with
like, what do you need it for? Like, what do you need it for? So you can have both. You can have both, really. If you have the money, you have both. If you don't, I get the IUL.
okay, so you,
If
even
you
with
have a job that has IRA, then make let them contribute to your IRA. You have IRA, you have IUL. That's great. Then you're winning.
it's like everyone's different. Everyone has a different, like even that doctor type of sales mentality of like, hey, this person needs this or they need this. Like they need to figure out which is right for them, which plan is right for them.
Well, it's same thing with social media. Like when I teach you how to go viral on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. But my clients, as an example, they favor their own platform. Like
Yeah.
some of them go viral on Instagram more often than the other ones because that's the platform they favor. Even though I taught them how to do that with the other ones, some go viral on TikTok, some go viral on Facebook. It's whatever they favor, right? It's the same thing. Whatever you kind of favor, you like more than that fits into your lifestyle. Works. It makes sense for you as long as it makes sense for you. Yeah, yeah. Because I don't tell people to get rid of their IRA if their job's still contributing. Why would you do that? Like, there's
Exactly.
still plenty money in it, so why would you do that? Like, no. Like, just get an extra one. Get an IUL on top of that. Like, that's the smart way to do it. Like, then you make more money, more accessibility to money, more accessibility to funds. You know what I'm saying? That's smart. Not versus one or the other. Like people are like, okay, I have this product already. Should I get rid of it? No. If you can afford it, keep both. Right? That's how you make more. That's how you make more like more streams of income, more
Here,
streams of investments. The same thing.
one second. I need to go to the restroom real quick. I will cut this part out, but I need to go real quick. So
Okay. No worries. My daughter's right here anyway. No worries.
cool. All right. So one of my questions was, since you were talking about multiple streams of income with the retirement and the IUO and the Roth IRA, I've noticed that most entrepreneurs, when they get started, they niche down, and then they kind of go out a little bit, and they figure out, maybe I'll do life insurance and social media. How
Mhm.
have you kept your focus, and then why have you made that decision?
Um, so I feel like entrepreneurs should have one that they're really good at. And to make, if you want to make more money, then you should find another niche that you're good at. So if you see, what happens is you broaden up your audience a little bit more. And so even you're talking about life insurance, those life insurance people probably want social media or vice versa. So you kind of broaden up your audience a little bit. And also, for me, yeah, I'm able to keep my focus on. So there's some realtors that do real estate agents. So that, for example, the alarm guy that came in here, Vivid, he
Mhm.
does, of course, I tried to say, hey, you should do life insurance. So I tried that. But he said, I'm too busy, which I understand. He does real estate and he flip houses and he does Vivid. I get it. You don't need more than that. Really, you really don't need too many. So a lot of people, they have a niche they're really good and they do one or two things. That's it to get more income. But also fills in the space because when you like me, I have so much time on my hands, right? And because we're entrepreneurs, we need to do things. So it
Mhm.
fills in the space. Okay, I do this, I do this, I do this, right? So I had a long guy came by. Hey, I tell you, everyone comes by to my house. The long guy comes by. He's like, salons. I have a lawnmower business, but I flip houses. I own like 8 houses,
Mhm.
and I help contractors. Yeah, because it fills in the space that we
Yeah.
have when we don't have much time. But you're good at it, you can make more money. I had jumped into an Uber one time, and the dude Ubers, but he also has a business. I think he does real estate as well, and he does another business, but he Ubers. So I asked him, why do you Uber if you have all these business? He said, because I have a lot of free time on my hands and I like doing it. It's cool. It's fine. So that's what we do. Like when you have a business and you're good at it, you kind of understand time management and you have a lot of time on your hands.
Mhm.
So you kind of like you pick another one, another niche, and then that fills in the gaps, but also you make money. And is we all do the same thing. We all pick high earning niches. It's not like I'm going to get a regular job. It's we pick high earning niches. So that way, yes, it fill in the gaps of the time slots that we have free time in. But when we do it, we make money, like
High leverage activities.
hmm
So I've noticed a lot of entrepreneurs have had like almost like a spiritual experience. Like it's very very like especially when you were first had your daughter and it was basically like you had to step up to the plate. Do you think do you think it is kind of like a spiritual experience or because really it is just at a bare core minimum like monetary exchange? Do you think people complicate it a little bit too much?
oh, what do you mean, like
Like they
getting
get
the
too sucked in
customers or
like too sucked into like the I guess the vision and like they complicate it for themselves in the head. I feel like of like oh this is the perfect vision for my company and this is like there's this secret or there's this extra thing or like there's this kind of like spiritual thing of like oh like
sorry.
this is a reason that I do this and that like instead of hey this is just monetary gain like this is literally just like um the reason why I'm in this is to make money and then also to help other people but at a bare core minimum do you think they complicate it too much I don't know if that question was even
I
complicated.
maybe for some people they haven't reached their what do you call it, when you feel like you made it. Okay,
Mhm.
so I actually have a lot of entrepreneurs who are successful and they don't feel like they made it. And it's like I guess everyone's goals are different, but like I've met someone who's very successful and she's like yesterday. I was like she's like I don't feel like I made it. I was like I was like, girl, you're successful. You own cows, okay? You made it, girl. Like, um, so I said, never ever say that. Never ever say that you don't feel like you made it, because you are. You're successful, and people see that, they want to be like you. But anyway, I feel like when you feel as an entrepreneur that you've made it,
Mhm.
then it's just really not as complicated, right? So people like to explain everything that's happening in their life themselves. They explain to themselves why this is happening, that's happening, why it isn't happening, why it isn't happening. It becomes more of a experience or a spiritual experience. But for me, I'm very positive. I just keep going. I never give up. I tell myself I deserve what I deserve. I'm very good at manifesting things, but because I work towards them. So I don't really try to complicate. That's too much going on there. Like a lot of people just really do overthink. It really is like I'm making a business for. I have a business so I can have the freedom with my kids, but also the financial freedom. But I'm really here to help people. Boom, that's it. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. And there's nothing more spiritual about it. I mean, I haven't really come across too many people who you must have you must have crossed some
Yeah,
people who
yeah.
made it
This is what
complicated. That's why
yeah,
you're asking me that question.
exactly. Sorry. Yeah, I kind of complicated the question myself because it's hard to put in words because I don't personally believe it. I literally like as long it's inputs. I literally have a whiteboard where it's like it's not. Yeah, I have a dream board. I have those things that are in front of
Yeah,
me,
I
but
do too.
they're not like that's something that's just like programming my mind in the background.
Yeah,
What I write on my whiteboard is literally like boxes, and it says
yeah,
this is what needs to be done. These are the inputs that are required for you to get here. Instead
right,
of, I think most people just have a hard time conceptualizing and figuring out exactly what they need to hit in order to hit those
right,
goals.
right,
They're more like today. I guess I'll knock these doors today, or I'll do these few reach outs today, but in reality I'm just I'm really just figuring it out. I'm just going to work today. And it's
right,
just like I feel like that is a very programmed mindset to have you fail from jobs, from things like that, because you really can just
right,
show up. There's no input, there's no target, there's no goal.
right.
So that was kind of what I was hitting at, but I made it very, very complicated. So I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, so what I do is I
Yeah,
have goals. I have a whiteboard as well, which is over
yeah,
here, and
yeah.
I have goals for the month. And my goals are not complicated. I know this is what I need to make this month, and this is what I want to do this month. This is what and I've literally checked off everything. Off everything. It's crazy. I've taken pictures. I show my kids. I'm like, look, and they're like, oh my god, it's like crazy. I show my washer dryer, and I got the washer dryer. You're like, like I wanted this house with the pool, with the office, and everything. I got everything. Um, what I do is I set these goals out, and I'll do what it takes to get to them. That's really what it is.
Do
And it's
what's
just a
required.
reminder. Okay, I need this month. Okay, and I gotta do what it takes to get there. This
Mhm.
is how many quotes I need to get to reach to that point, or this is how many applications I need to submit to get to that kind of money, or this is how many people I need to be in my consultations, my book calls, and this is what I need. So yeah, I don't really. I'm just like, yeah, you're on the right track, buddy. Like I'm so proud of you. Do you understand? Like I'm so proud of you because there are so many people who are my age that don't get it. Like they don't even know how to set goals for themselves and try to achieve them. So many my age, okay? I'm in my 40s, like my age. So I'm really proud of you. I'm really, really proud of you because you're gonna be so successful, and I'm gonna be so thrilled. I'm like, yeah, he interviewed me. Yeah, I'm really proud of you. I'm gonna see big things with you. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, I appreciate that so much. Like that actually means a lot because, entrepreneur. Yeah, you probably know this as well. Like entrepreneurship can be very, very lonely. So this
Yeah,
doing these interviews has really helped me to know that there's other people out there, and even bringing this out for other people has really helped. like just bringing it out for other people. I've wanted to do this for like the past 3-4 years, and because I when I first got started, I was like, what community can I join? There's no like there are communities out there. There's like Discord groups or other things like that, but they're not people, you know. And it really has. I appreciate that, and yeah, I mean, a lot of I had to build a team behind me in order for me to be where I am. I had to get other partners involved just because I'm like I can do it alone. It's just it's so much better to do it with other people. It's so much better, and I've just always been that type of way. But I'm gonna switch it on you a little bit. What advice would you give to me starting out? What would you say? 'Cause this was one of the things that I wrote down for even other people out there. What would you say not to do when starting out in entrepreneurship or within entrepreneurship?
What not to do.
Hmm.
I guess expecting grand results in a short period of time. I kind of mentioned that. And then also to not give up. So like that's really what it is. That's kind of like what I see in entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
and I don't, because you're young. I feel like you have so much ahead of you where there's so much that you can learn, and your career is going to change. It may not, but most of the time it does change. And I don't want you to feel like you failed. Like I want, if I'm giving you advice, I feel like failures is actually success. So I always see failures as success because you learn something from it, and then you're gonna apply it to your next, and it's gonna take you faster to your dream. That's what how I view as failure is the more I fail, the faster I succeed. That's literally like my slogan. The more I fail, the faster I succeed because you're getting to your goal a lot faster because you learn what to do. Um, and then you're going to apply it to your next project. So for me, that's what I wanted to share with you is whatever you have your mindset on, do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid to fail.
Okay. That's I think for I like that. I mean, like, because I know a lot of a lot of younger people, they're really scared to fail because they've never had to. And even for me, when I first started, like, it literally, I was living at my parents' house when I first started, and there was no real skin in the game. There was no real failure. And it didn't change for me until I literally went homeless and I forced myself to go homeless. I forced myself to actually get it. Was when the change actually happened. And I think door to door is like every single person, if they're looking to get into entrepreneurship, every single person should either do door to door, do life insurance, do some sort of sales. Um, because that teaches you how to take failure like no other. You're gonna get doors slammed in your face. I'm sure life insurance agents who don't have that following, who don't have the leads coming in from the company, they fail. They fail multiple times, and they're
Yeah.
people tell them no. People tell them life insurance is dumb. People tell them
And
stuff like I've had people who are like, oh yeah, like does it look like I need your service? Like no, like it just there's all those things out there. Then you have to. It makes you question your own beliefs when you first get started. It makes you question your own beliefs, and you're like, am I doing the right thing?
because
Am I?
you're different. It's different. It's
Mhm,
different. So everything that you set your foot in is going to be different. It's going to feel different. Okay.
mhm,
Um, and that's okay.
mhm,
People are never going to understand what you do or why you do it. I remember let me tell you something that's happened. I went to Walmart one day
mhm,
and he was young like you. And he was selling what's it, AT&T at
mhm.
Walmart. And so I said, "Hey, you want to try life insurance, blah blah blah." And I guess the older woman heard me and stopped and was like, "Don't quit your day job to do what she's telling you to do." And I was like, "Wow." So I think he did come. He never joined. He did talk to me. And we kept seeing him again at Walmart.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we saw him a few times again at Walmart. So he stuck to his day job, but I'm just saying, like,
Man.
you could work from home or go work at Walmart. But that's most people's mentalities. They're afraid to fail because it's so different. Life insurance is different. You have to have that mindset of not the 9 to 5 mindset, but like, this is your business. Life insurance is a business. It's a 1099. So when you become an agent, you're a business. And a lot of
Mhm.
people are stuck in that 9 to 5 mindset, and they said, okay, I did my hours today. I should get paid Friday or next Friday, right? But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. This is a business. It doesn't work if you had a retail business. Like, yeah, okay, I opened my store for a month now. I should make some money. No, it doesn't work like that. Like, it doesn't work like that. And that's why I told you earlier, like, not everyone's meant to be an entrepreneur. And her speaking up during that time scared him, gave him doubts in his head. Should I do it or should I didn't do it? And I bet right now he's like, damn, I should have did it, because he does follow my Instagram.
Yeah.
um, but he was afraid. I believe he was afraid to. People were in his ear telling him it's a scam, and I wanted to clarify that life insurance isn't a scam, because I hear that all the time. Life insurance, I got paid. My dad passed away, I got paid, so it isn't a scam. Um, certain people make it sound like it's a scam, and I can understand why people get afraid. But it is a sales and commissions job, just like anybody else. If it's just like
Mhm.
anything else, like
Yeah.
health insurance,
That's what it
cars.
should
You
be.
go to buy a car, it's a sales. It's a cars. And I one time, one person asked me, like, how much do you get paid to sell this product to me? And I'm like, do you ask the car dealer how much they get paid for selling you a car? Like, they're gonna be making so much money from you because they sold you a car. So, like,
Mhm.
who does that? Who does that? But anyway.
Yeah, that's like weird. I mean, it's even like things with I I got into like bartering with people, like people being like, "Oh, can you do this cheaper? Can you do this cheaper?" It's like, do you go to Walmart and go talk to the person when you get a pizza and be like, "Hey, can you give me this pizza's $5, but can you give it to me for 3.50?" Like, no.
Right, right, right,
It's
right.
just
I
like,
mean, no one does that. And then, so I hope, so no one does it to me anymore
yeah.
now, because my social media presence says, okay, she's expensive. Like, come
Mhm.
off the bat, like, you're going to get the value that I give you, so much value, than I charge, but you need it. But when you come book a consult with me, this is going to be pricey. I mean,
Mhm.
my social media says it all. So I don't get that as much as I used to. People are like, oh, can you charge less? Or I really, really, really ever get that maybe once or twice in
Yeah.
all the consults I've done. Most people understand this girl is going to be expensive. So,
How
hey,
do
I
you?
say you get what you pay for all the time. You get what you pay for. You buy something cheaper, you're gonna get cheap. Yeah, it's just gonna fall apart. Not gonna work for you. So
So for you, getting past that, like, because I know I've had some issues with that as well, and people asking for a cheaper price, stuff like that. Um, so you're just saying basically build your presence to the point because it does all the selling for you online, right? So
you're
like
right.
it's building that behind you, so you have power behind your words, and you're coming in a place of power instead of
Right.
looking for something, basically,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay.
It's true.
Yeah.
It really is true, because, like, it's just psychology. People
Mhm.
see, I'm okay now, but if I were back in the day, work from home and versus working in an office, who would people pick? The office, right? Because you look more professional, you look more business, you look more expensive, even though we do exactly the same things. Now, today's world, it's different. I can work from home and do whatever I want to do. But now your presence online says who you are. So here's again, would you buy the same exact product from someone who has 200 followers? I hate to say this because people are like, oh, you don't need it. I'll tell you. From 200 followers, or from someone that has 20,000 followers?
Yeah.
you're probably gonna pick the person that's 20,000 followers. Why? Because they have more followers that have a backing behind their product. They probably bought something from them, and as a consumer, we look for reviews all the time, right? So
Yeah.
even if they're selling the same product, even if it's a little bit cheaper, 200 followers, they're gonna still go with the one that's 20,000 followers. It is how it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, you have something behind your actual word. How have you? Because I was even thinking like with passing referral. Do you have any referral partners that are like, oh, we do ads. Like we'd love to send over some people for them to grow their own social media because it is very important in today's world. So do you have any like people who refer business to you?
I
Like other.
don't actually. I have clients that refer business to me, and I pay referrals. So I pay good for referrals if they sign up. I don't have any partners that I help people out all the time, but I don't have any partners that send people money.
Okay. And you
Which I
said
do
you
agree. I do need somebody like that.
okay, and then you said that you've kind of scaled. You have kind of like a team behind you. How what?
For social media management.
Okay,
There you go.
how is that for the social media management? How is that like hiring process? Like, because now you've gotten to the point where you've hired people. I haven't hired people yet, so I don't know
Okay.
that as much. I'm even asking for myself, like, what? How do you find good talent, and then how do you know when to fire somebody?
Um, so in my initial phases of hiring people, I would really just like look at people's portfolio and their work ethic.
Mhm.
And I've never had to fire anyone. For the most part, everyone really wants to work with me, so I don't really have. And I'm such a great boss.
Everything's just like working out, huh? It literally is.
Yeah, because they're like, damn, I want what she's doing. And so everyone's like, look, most people that work for me look up to me and they want to be where I'm at. And they're just very easygoing. I'm also a very easygoing boss. I'm not like, as long as you get your work done, I don't care what you do, what time you like. I'm such a good boss. I had some issues with someone that tried to hire me, and their person that they used to do, I don't know, supervise people was at me, and I was like, whoa, 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 like I have my own business here. Like I don't need this from you. Like we're not doing that. And I just imagine working for this person as an employee, not as a, like I was supposed to be a partner. As an employee, I would wonder like they probably go through a lot of people. So for me, I've had the same people. Um, I've never had to fire anybody. Everyone enjoys working with me. For me, as long as you do your job and we communicate, so some of my employees have like life issues. Like I had an
Mhm.
employee who had somebody passed away, or things were going on with them, and I'm like, cool, whatever. Like if you need another day or two, like let me know. Like I'm such a great boss. Like I really am. Like because I
I'm the best boss
understand.
here.
Yeah, I am. I'm really good. As long as you do your job, I don't care what you do. As long as you
Yeah.
get your job done, I do not care what you do. That's just really what it is. I'm not timing you. I'm not putting you on apps. So these online workers, they have apps that you can time people who are working out of the country or things like that. I don't even do that because you know what? What's the point? As long as you do your job, because I'm gonna see you did your job or not, because I'm gonna see it. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. As long if I told you you need to do this an hour a day and you did 15, 15, 15 throughout the day, who cares? As long as you did your work. Like I don't really care how you did it. You know what I'm saying? Get your work done. If you need a day off, tell me. Hey, I can't do it today. Cool. I'm I understand because and that's how someone who's a boss should be like. Be understanding. Like that's because it will be your time one day. I promise you, it'll be your time one day. Just like my last job, I was pregnant and I was 8 months pregnant and my back hurted so bad. My doctor made an appointment for me to see a PT. I was a nurse. At that time, we had no patients. We had a time slot with no patients. No patients were coming, And I asked to go, and she was like, no, you can't go. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I was like, oh my God, like that's crazy. So after I had the baby, I couldn't walk for like six months. Like my back hurt so bad. I couldn't even go to the grocery store. I couldn't even drive. It was so bad. And to me, thinking back, it's like, how could you do that to someone? Like, how could you do that to someone? Like, you didn't even need me. You didn't even need me. You just, what kind of boss are you? Like, you don't even understand. I'm 8 months pregnant. And it was like, that at that point I was like, man, I could never be someone like that. I could never do that to somebody. I've had friends who tell me that their bosses wouldn't let them take off for more than 1 or 2 days when their family member passed away. And it was like a dad or a mom that passed away. I was like, wow, are you serious? That's crazy. And people forget, that's gonna happen to you one day. And you're gonna want that time off, or I'm telling you. So I was like, man, I could never be that boss. Like, we need, because we all need to be happy in the job that we have, right? I want to be happy doing what I do, and I want my employees to be happy doing what they do. And I understand life happens. Like, we had an open communication. They talked to me like, hey, I can't work today. I'll do extra hours on the weekend. Cool. Cool. Whatever. Like I'm such an easy boss. Like, I really am. So I never had any of those issues. But when I did hire my team, I go through an agency, which trains people. So if you need someone, I have someone that hires people and trains people for you depending on what your needs are. It's setters, closers, tech people, editors, whatever you need. They will hire and train them to your specific needs too, as well. So that's who does my social media management.
Oh wow, so you got okay.
So yeah, so if you need somebody, I got somebody for you.
Cool. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up a little bit. What can everybody expect from you in the future?
Yeah. I
What can
hope that you guys see more of me on more podcasts, on more screen time, more stage presence. That's really what my goal is. Working on writing a book right now. So I hope that people see more of me. That is my goal. I'm letting you see enough of me, but I want you to see more of me.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Well, other than that, I'm gonna have all of her information in the description below, and then all of the shorts that come out of this, her information will be in all of that. We'll probably collab on a couple of those. But other than that, everybody, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.